the most dangerous people in your life. Right now, the most dangerous people in your life aren't the ones who openly show their hatred. They're the ones who smile to your face while secretly plotting your downfall, and in some cases, your death. That might sound extreme, but the truth is far more unsettling than most realize. Someone you know could be hiding intentions far darker than simple resentment, and the real danger lies in how easy it is to overlook the warning signs, until it's too late. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about awareness. The knowledge you're about to gain could be the very thing that keeps you safe. Most people ignore these 10 crucial signs, but recognizing them could mean the difference between spotting a real threat and becoming an unfortunate statistic. These aren't baseless warnings. They're real red flags that distinguish everyday conflict from something far more sinister. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what to watch for, but you'll also understand how to protect yourself from those who secretly wish you harm. What you're about to learn may forever change the way you see certain people in your life. Number 1. The silent observer, a hidden threat. Let's begin by diving into the first and most chilling sign that someone wants you dead. They become what I call the silent observer. This isn't just an overly curious acquaintance or a social media lurker. When someone has truly sinister intentions, their observation goes far beyond casual interest or even deep-seated resentment. They track your routines, your habits, and your movements, but in a way so subtle that most people don't catch on until it's almost too late. Think about your daily life. Have you ever noticed someone who always seems to know where you've been, even when you haven't shared that information? They could be piecing things together through mutual friends' posts, background details in your photos, or even comments you make in passing. But their tactics don't stop online. These individuals go beyond digital stalking and create real-world patterns to keep tabs on you. They know when and where you grab your morning coffee, when you hit the gym, and even your usual grocery shopping time. And here's where it becomes truly unsettling. These encounters aren't just chance meetings. They're planned. Ever notice someone suddenly frequenting the same places you do at the exact times you go? Maybe they've started showing up at your gym, or they always seem to be at your favorite cafe when you arrive. It's not coincidence, it's calculated surveillance. This is what separates ordinary conflict from something far more sinister. These people aren't just upset with you. They're studying your life with precision, looking for weak spots and opportunities. They aren't driven by simple anger. They're gathering intelligence, just like a predator stalking its prey. So, how do you protect yourself? Start paying close attention to patterns. If someone repeatedly appears in your daily routine without a logical explanation, take notice. If they seem to know details about your life that you haven't publicly shared, don't ignore it. And above all, trust your instincts. When someone's presence in your life feels off, there's usually a reason. Number 2, the sabotage tactic, a silent attack on your life. Let's talk about Sarah, someone who learned the hard way just how dangerous certain people can be. She thought her co-worker was simply difficult to work with, but over time, she began noticing something more disturbing. It wasn't just workplace drama. It was a calculated effort to dismantle everything she had worked for. This leads us to the second deadly sign, the sabotage tactic. Some people don't just want to hurt you. They want to strip away everything that keeps you strong. They don't attack head-on. Instead, they work behind the scenes, spreading subtle but damaging lies to your closest friends and colleagues. Their goal? To make you look bad while keeping their own hands clean. And what makes them especially dangerous is how well they cover their tracks. Every move appears disconnected, making it hard to trace the destruction back to them. Think about recent struggles you've faced. Is there someone who always seems to be at the center of your problems, yet somehow remains blameless? This isn't ordinary conflict. It's a methodical plan to isolate you. These individuals don't just stop at damaging your reputation at work. They take things further by poisoning your personal relationships, making you appear unstable, untrustworthy, or even dangerous. The key difference between a simple grudge and this kind of attack is precision. Every move is intentional, designed to leave you without allies. To make things worse, they often pretend to be a caring friend in front of others. They might act like they're looking out for you while actively working to destroy your credibility. Their goal isn't just to make you look bad, it's to leave you completely vulnerable, with no one to turn to. So, how do you protect yourself? Start documenting everything. Save emails, messages, and any suspicious interactions. Keep track of incidents and patterns of behavior. Most importantly, strengthen your support system with people who truly know you, those who won't be easily swayed by manipulation. Understand this. These individuals aren't just holding a grudge. They're executing a well-planned attack designed to tear your life apart. Staying vigilant is your best defense. Ever dealt with someone like this? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're serious about protecting yourself, hit that like button and subscribe. Number 3. The false friend. Facade. A hidden threat in disguise. Now, let's expose the third and perhaps most deceptive sign that someone wants you dead, the false friend facade. Ever notice someone who suddenly takes an unusual interest in your life? Maybe they went from being a casual acquaintance to acting like your closest confidant overnight. They seem eager to know your routine, your struggles, even your deepest fears. While this might come across as genuine concern, the truth is far more unsettling. This isn't just about faking friendship. It's about positioning themselves close enough to strike. They don't just want to be a part of your life. They want to infiltrate it completely. They become the person you lean on, the one you trust with your secrets, and sometimes they even integrate themselves into your circle of family and friends. But here's the real danger. Every piece of information you share becomes a weapon they can use against you. Think about someone who has shown an unusual level of curiosity about your life. Do they ask about your schedule, your habits, maybe even your fears? While they may present themselves as caring, their real motive is far from innocent. And speaking of staying informed, if you find this kind of knowledge valuable, make sure to pay close attention to these warning signs. Because just as these manipulators study their targets, you need to study their behavior to stay ahead. Understand this. These people don't just want to befriend you. They want access to your weaknesses. They're looking for ways to enter your home, your workplace, and any space where you feel secure. They're not building a friendship. They're constructing a plan. And you're the target. The fourth deadly sign. Escalating threats. Now pay very close attention, because what I'm about to reveal is the fourth deadly sign that could save your life. When someone has harmful intentions, they rarely act on impulse. Instead, they test the limits first, gradually increasing their aggression to see how much they can get away with. What might seem like minor hostility at first is actually a carefully planned escalation. At the start, it may just be unsettling comments masked as jokes. They could say something like, "If I wanted to, I could get rid of you," then laugh it off. Or they might conveniently showcase their collection of weapons, acting as if it's no big deal. But these are not harmless remarks. They're carefully crafted to gauge your reaction. The progression of aggression. This pattern follows a chilling structure. 1. Verbal threats disguised as jokes, offhanded remarks that hint at violence. 2. Physical intimidation, standing too close, blocking your way, or bumping into you by accident. 3. Escalating confrontations. Those once subtle threats turn into direct warnings, and those accidental bumps become forceful shoves. Each time they don't face resistance, they take it one step further. Their goal is to gradually desensitize you so that when things escalate to a dangerous level, you're caught off guard. This is not just about someone being aggressive or holding a grudge. It's a systematic effort to push boundaries and see how much control they can exert over you. Your best defense? Recognize these behaviors early and never brush them off as meaningless. Those jokes about violence, not funny. That looming presence or repeated physical contact. Not accidental. This is a calculated build-up to something far more sinister. Have you ever met someone like this? Let's talk in the comments. And if you're finding this valuable, hit like and subscribe. It really helps. Number 5. The most dangerous threat, the patient predator. Now, let me reveal the 5th and most dangerous sign that someone wants you dead. The patient predator. Some people don't act on impulse or lash out in the heat of the moment. Instead, they plan meticulously, sometimes for years, waiting for the perfect moment. This is what makes the patient predator the deadliest of them all. These individuals play the long game. They don't want quick revenge or immediate action. They want to ensure everything is perfectly executed with minimal risk to themselves. One key warning sign? They show an unusual interest in your future. They ask about your upcoming trips, your career changes, even your long-term personal goals. But they're not asking out of curiosity or support. They're collecting data. They're studying when you'll be alone, when you'll be vulnerable, and when you'll be easiest to target. The scariest part, they blend in effortlessly. They could be a coworker, a trusted neighbor, even someone who has positioned themselves as a close friend. They're patient enough to gain your trust, to become a fixture in your life, all while quietly waiting for the right moment to strike. Because their approach is so slow and methodical, their red flags aren't obvious. You don't feel an immediate sense of danger. That's exactly what makes them so deadly. Stay aware. Trust your instincts. And if someone seems just a little too invested in your future, start asking yourself why. Number 6. The overly curious interrogator. Now, pay close attention, because this next sign is one that most people never see coming until it's too late. Some threats don't come from obvious aggression or sabotage. Some come disguised as harmless curiosity. Meet the overly curious interrogator, the person who seems a little too interested in your life. They ask questions, lots of them, and at first it might feel flattering, even normal, but don't be fooled. Their questions aren't random, and they're definitely not innocent. These people aren't making small talk. They're gathering intelligence, the kind of information that could be used to hurt you later. Think about it. Has someone ever asked you oddly specific questions about your routine? What time do you usually get home? Do you live alone, or does someone stay with you? Do you always take that same route home? Seems harmless, right? But look deeper. These aren't just friendly questions. They're probing for weaknesses. They want to know where you'll be, when you'll be alone, and how vulnerable you are. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. These people hide behind fake concern. They might act like they're just looking out for you. They'll say things like, "I just want to make sure you're safe. You know it's dangerous walking alone at night." But don't be fooled. This is a test. They're studying your reactions, seeing how much information they can extract without raising suspicion. So, how do you spot them? 1. They ask too many personal questions, even when it feels inappropriate. 2. They remember details about your life that you barely recall sharing. 3. They push for information even when you deflect or change the subject. 4. They rarely share personal details about themselves. And here's the worst part. They're patient. They don't rush. They collect small pieces of information over time, waiting for the moment when they have everything they need. So what can you do? Be mindful of what you share. If someone's questions start feeling too invasive, trust that instinct. Answer vaguely, change the subject. And if they persist, shut them down. Because when someone is this invested in knowing the details of your life, they're not just being nosy, they're planning something, and that should terrify you. Now that you know, don't stay silent. Comment below, like this video, and subscribe, because knowledge is power, and power keeps you safe. Number 7. The sudden rival. Now listen carefully, because this next sign is one that can sneak up on you when you least expect it. Not every threat comes from someone who's distant or cold. Sometimes it comes from someone who suddenly becomes obsessed with competing against you. even if you never saw them as competition. This is the sudden rival, a person who, out of nowhere, starts treating everything you do as a challenge. And it's not just friendly competition, it's hostile, personal, and relentless. At first, it might seem harmless. Maybe they copy your work ethic, your style, or even your ideas. But then it escalates. They don't just want to match you, they want to outshine you, undermine you, and ultimately destroy you. Here's how you recognize them. They suddenly develop the same interests, goals, or ambitions as you, even if they never cared before. They start spreading subtle negativity about you, making small digs to others while pretending to be supportive. They go out of their way to compete with you in areas that don't even make sense, whether it's at work, in social circles, or even in your personal life. They celebrate your failures more than their own successes. And here's the scariest part. This isn't about achievement, it's about elimination. This person doesn't just want to be better than you. They want to replace you. They want to take your spot, wear your reputation like a trophy, and leave you with nothing. But here's what makes them truly dangerous. They don't attack openly. They play the long game, using calculated moves to discredit you, steal opportunities, and turn others against you. So what can you do? Keep your distance. Don't share your plans, don't engage in their games, and most importantly, don't let them bait you into a reaction. Because that's exactly what they want. Remember, not every enemy attacks from the front. Some disguise themselves as competitors. But their real goal? To erase you completely. Number 8. The fake apologizer. Now, let me tell you something critical. Not every apology is real. Some people don't say "I'm sorry" because they feel guilty or regret their actions. They say it to manipulate you, to keep you close, and to make sure you don't see them as a threat. This is the fake apologizer. Someone who constantly hurts you but always finds a way to excuse themselves just enough to stay in your life. At first, their apologies sound genuine. They might even get emotional, act remorseful, or promise to change. But here's the catch. They never actually change. Instead, they use fake apologies as a tool to reset the situation so they can hurt you again. Here's how you recognize them. Their apologies always come after they've been caught, never before. They downplay their actions with phrases like "I didn't mean it like that" or "You're taking it the wrong way." They repeat the same behavior over and over, apologizing just enough to keep you around. When confronted, they shift the blame, making you feel guilty for holding them accountable. They say things like, "I said I was sorry, why are you still bringing this up?" to make you feel like you're the problem. This isn't remorse, this is emotional control. They don't want forgiveness, they want access. They want to keep you vulnerable so they can continue their toxic behavior without consequences. And if you're dealing with someone like this, you need to understand. They will never stop. The moment you forgive them, they see it as permission to do it again. So what can you do? Watch their actions, not their words. If someone repeatedly hurts you and apologizes just to get back into your good graces, cut them off. Because if they were truly sorry, they wouldn't need to keep apologizing for the same thing. If this warning opened your eyes, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because staying informed could save your life. Number 9. The puppet master. Now imagine this. Every time you make a move, something goes wrong. A friend suddenly turns against you. An opportunity mysteriously vanishes. A conflict appears out of nowhere. And the worst part? You have no idea why. That's because you're not just dealing with an enemy. You're dealing with a puppet master. This is someone who doesn't attack you directly. Instead, they manipulate everything around you, controlling people and events to quietly destroy your life while keeping their hands clean. They play the long game, working behind the scenes to turn friends into enemies, allies into threats, and opportunities into dead ends. How do they do it? They spread lies in whispers. never shouts. Instead of openly bad-mouthing you, they plant subtle doubts in people's minds. They twist your words, frame you as a problem, and make others see you as the villain. They manipulate conflicts. Ever noticed how certain people in your life keep misunderstanding you? That's not an accident. The puppet master feeds them selective information to stir up tension. They create isolation. Slowly but surely, they pull people away from you. Friends start distancing themselves, colleagues lose trust in you, and before you know it, you're standing alone. They make you doubt yourself. Through gaslighting, guilt-tripping, and constant subtle sabotage, they make you question your own reality, leaving you vulnerable. By the time you realize what's happening, the damage is already done. So, how do you stop them? You start paying attention. If conflicts keep popping up out of nowhere, trace them back to their source. If someone always seems to be at the center of the chaos but never takes the blame, they might be pulling the strings. And most importantly, don't let them play their game. The moment you recognize a puppet master, cut the strings. Because if you don't, they'll keep tightening their grip until there's nothing left of you. Number 10. The helpful saboteur. Now, let's talk about one of the most dangerous and deceptive threats. The person who pretends to help you while secretly working against you. This is the helpful saboteur. At first glance, they seem like a supportive friend, a loyal co-worker, or even a mentor looking out for your best interests. They offer advice, lend a hand when you're struggling, and always seem eager to assist. But beneath the surface, they have a different agenda. Here's how they operate. They offer help, but only the kind that sets you up for failure. They might suggest the perfect solution to your problem, knowing full well it will make things worse. If you're preparing for a big project, they'll give you just enough bad advice to ensure it flops. If you're applying for a job, they might help you with your resume by making subtle mistakes that ruin your chances. They slow you down while pretending to speed you up. Ever had someone insist on handling something for you, only to accidentally mess it up? Or take so long to complete a simple task that you miss your opportunity? That's no accident. The helpful saboteur ensures things go wrong while making it look like they're doing their best. They plant self-doubt in your mind. Every time you achieve something, they downplay it. Oh, you got that promotion. I'm sure they just needed someone last minute. You're starting a business? That sounds really risky. Maybe you should wait. They mask negativity as concern, subtly making you question yourself. They take credit for your wins and disappear when you fail. If something goes right, they make sure people believe they helped make it happen. But when things fall apart, they're nowhere to be found, leaving you to deal with the consequences alone. By the time you realize what's happening, they've already done the damage. So, how do you protect yourself? Watch their patterns. If someone's help consistently leads to setbacks, delays, or self-doubt, trust your instincts. Real friends lift you up. They don't keep you stumbling just so they can pretend to catch you. Because when someone is always there to help you fail, they were never helping at all. Final warning, you could be in danger. Let's be completely honest. If you've recognized any of these 10 warning signs in someone around you, you're not just dealing with an ordinary enemy. You might be facing someone with deadly intentions. The line between becoming a victim and surviving depends entirely on what you do with this information. Ignoring these red flags isn't just careless, it could be the biggest mistake of your life. By now you know the 10 major warning signs. 1. The silent observer. Someone who studies your every move, gathering intelligence for a sinister purpose. 2. The saboteur. A person working behind the scenes to destroy your reputation, relationships, and opportunities. 3. The false friend. A fake ally who gains your trust only to use it against you when the time is right. 4. The escalating aggressor. Someone who starts with subtle intimidation and slowly pushes the boundaries of violence. The patient predator, a master manipulator who plays the long game, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. 6. The overly curious interrogator, a person who pries into your life, collecting personal details for future exploitation. 7. The sudden rival, someone who shifts from friend to competitor overnight, seeking to outdo or eliminate you at any cost. 8. The fake apologizer, a manipulator who uses insincere apologies to control, confuse, and weaken your defenses. 9. The puppet master, a hidden manipulator who influences others to attack you while keeping their own hands clean. The helpful saboteur, a deceptive figure who pretends to support you while secretly ensuring your failure. Each of these people operates differently, but they all share one thing in common. They don't just hate you, they want to see you fall. Recognizing them early could mean the difference between staying safe and becoming their next victim. If you choose to overlook these behaviors, you're essentially allowing them to continue their dangerous game. What you need to do now. Before you leave, take 2 important steps. 1. Save this information. You might need to recognize these signs again later. 2. Watch the next video on your screen about identifying covert narcissists, because many of these behaviors are linked to deeply manipulative personality traits. Your awareness is your first layer of protection, but taking action, that's what keeps you alive. Comment below if you've ever encountered someone like this and let's discuss. And before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Stay sharp, stay aware, and most importantly, stay alive.